So today's probably going to be something that you haven't seen on YouTube before, or maybe you have, but either way, I'm going to do it. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a huge book nerd. I am obsessed with reading books. There's a lot of books I have upstairs right now that I got a very long time ago that I haven't read before, and I pretty much want to make it my mission to read these books in 2017. As I'm recording this, it's December 30th, so it's pretty close to 2017. Either way, I figured I would go ahead and go through these books right now and maybe hopefully make a few recommendations to you. The first book I think is one I got for my birthday a while ago. It's called Vanished by Meg Cabot, books 1 and 2. So they have 2 books in here, and there's a second one with books 3 and 4 on it. Basically, what this says is Jessica Mastriani has never liked attention. All she wants is to make it to high school graduation like any ordinary girl. But when Jess is struck by lightning, she becomes anything but ordinary. Suddenly, she has the ability to locate missing children. I won't read the whole description because it's pretty long, but I figured this is a pretty interesting concept, and I can't believe I never really picked it up and started reading it myself. In my defense, I have a lot of books I need to read, and I'm not a lot of time. So there's that. But it is a pretty big book, but I'm going to make it my mission to read this book and many other ones in 2017. So the next book I did start reading a little bit, and it is smaller. It's No Safety in Numbers by Dayna Lorentz, and basically, I'll just paraphrase it, I won't read the back. These 4 teenagers, they get trapped in a mall, and they meet each other in, well, maybe I should read the back, because I kind of suck at giving descriptions. When a biological bomb is discovered in the air duct of a busy suburban mall, there you go, the entire complex is shut down, and all those inside are quarantined. At first, there's the novelty of being stuck in a mega mall with free food and gift certificates, but it isn't long before supplies start dwindling and widespread panic surges through the place. Of the thousands trapped, 4 teens, each with his or her own story, are anxious to escape and help their loved ones survive. But it isn't easy to stay calm when the truth is deliberately kept secret. Marco, Lexi, Ryan, and Shay are about to find out that in desperate times, people can change, and not always for the better. So I got a little bit through this. Where did I get through this? Oh, I made it to day 2 in the book, so I got about this far. Not very far. But it is, like I said before, it's a really interesting concept, and I always I'm into the things where people are like quarantined in a place, like movies or books or like unpublished stories on certain websites. I'm into that kind of stuff. Also, by the way, I'm sorry if my camera is tilted slightly because my tripod is kinda a little bit wonky. It kinda sucks. And my camera plate got stuck on the camera yesterday, so I had to unscrew it, and it's probably not very tightly screwed or whatever, blah, 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 blah. That tripod has been through a lot of my stupidity. Hello, darkness, my old friend. After I read all these books, I want to do maybe like an update of what I thought of the books, or what I recommended to anybody, blah, 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 all that stuff. So this one I got a little bit farther through. It's another big one. It's called Fearless by Francine Pascal. I think there's a lot of books in this one, but basically what this book is about, it's about a girl who was born without the fear gene. Gaia Moore, I probably pronounced that wrong, my bad, is brilliant and beautiful. She's trained in 3 kinds of martial arts, has a reflex speed that's off the charts, and can break codes in 4 languages. She's also missing the fear gene. All Gaia wants is to be like, is it still recording? All Gaia wants is to be like everyone else. Instead, she's left wondering about her past, her missing family, and the unavailable boy she's fallen for. But everything changes when she learns that someone is hunting her down for her special skills, and they'll do anything to get her, but Gaia isn't worried because she's missing the fear gene, and she isn't afraid of anything. Well, first of all, I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but this cover is just so cool. I'll see if I can get it to focus. I don't know if it's focusing or not, and I can't do that little Beauty Guru hand thing because it's a book. The cover is super cool. The girl on here is really pretty, but not only that, it just looks like one of those really cool sci-fi kind of books, which I love sci-fi things, and people are gonna make fun of me because it's like I'm a blonde white girl talking about how much she loves sci-fi things, whatever. But yeah, I got pretty far in this, but I want to finish it really soon because it's such, well, it's an interesting concept, again, like I've said with every other book, but it just seems really unique. So I want to finish reading this one, and I also would like to read the other books in this series because I think there's another one. There might even be a third one too. And the next one is a book you've all heard about before. It's Fangirl by Rowell. I'm not going to read the description for it because you probably already know about it because it's been everywhere. And it's going to sound stupid, but I identify as the main character so much, so I figured I would pick it up and check it out. And I read a little bit of it. Like I said, I've been really busy lately. I haven't read that much. It does sound kind of interesting if you're into like fandoms and stuff like that. If you want to see about fiction, about someone who's in a fandom and blah, blah, blah. So, great job, Carly, great job. Now this next book I haven't read at all, but I really, really want to because basically it's called The Unseen. It's 2 parts, so It Begins and Rest in Peace. This is just the first one. And it's by Richie, Tankersly, Cusick. I probably pronounced that way wrong, sorry. It says, the open grave. Out walking alone one rainy night, Lucy becomes convinced that someone or something is following her. Spooked, she ducks into a cemetery to try and lose her stalker. Panicking in the darkness, she slips and stumbles into an open grave, only to discover she is not alone in there. She manages to escape, but soon begins having terrifying visions and dreams, and she still can't shake the feeling of an unseen presence, always watching, waiting. Who was the girl in the grave, and what did she do to Lucy? I just heard a scream outside. That's kind of making me nervous. This book leaves a lot to mystery, I guess. It's definitely a mystery book, and it's definitely unique. And, well, to me it's unique, and I hope this is something I can get spooked reading. I hope it's one of those books that makes you just want to keep reading it and reading it and reading it to see what on earth is going on, because the description doesn't really give you that much, but I'm excited for it. Let's get on to the big one, the books I just ordered on Amazon. So let's break this bad boy open. I have a super sharp knife right now. That's probably not safe. I'm gonna want to cover up my address. We have a lot of Ellen Hopkins, and we also have a separate book that's kind of tiny that what I originally got, and then, or cover up your address, Carly, you're gonna be stalkers. Okay, this is called Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, and the thing that made me want to get this book the most was she talked about, it was about mental health and anxiety. Audrey wears dark glasses all the time, even in the house. She almost never goes out and doesn't talk to new people, and finds making eye contact to be nearly impossible. So me. But then one day she meets Linus. Linus is her brother's friend and a sensitive spirit with whom she can talk through her fears. He makes her laugh and doesn't leave her feeling as if she's being judged. I wanted to get this book for a really long time, and basically now I've resorted to having to order all my books off Amazon because the only good place you could really buy books in my hometown now is being shut down because apparently they think we're all a bunch of redneck hicks who don't read. Which, for people, that's partially true, but whatever. And people always tell me, order the ebook, go to the library. I don't go to the library because I like to keep my books, first of all, and I don't like ordering ebooks because why would you want to get a device and read off that whenever you can have the physical version of the book? I'm a nerd, but whatever. So I don't typically read books like these. I'm more into books by Ellen Hopkins because Ellen Hopkins, nitty-gritty, like the dark parts of having a mental illness, whereas these books kind of, I don't want to say romanticize it, but they kind of don't really tell the whole truth. That's why I like Ellen Hopkins, because she's real and I'm a really dark person. And I really like books that tell the real story, but this one kind of intrigued me because I'll read anything about mental health, and maybe it's not even romanticizing it. I figured, let's give it a chance, and let's read through it. So, yeah, there's Finding Audrey. Okay, now, my favorite author of all time, Ellen Hopkins. So, Crank is a very popular book that Ellen Hopkins has written. In fact, I want to say it's the series that really made Ellen Hopkins known, and I've never really read it, so I figured I'd order the first one and see what it was all about. I love the style that Ellen Hopkins does, of all like the paragraph style and whatever. I've read one of her books before, which is Impulse. I loved it, one of my favorite books of all time, so I figured I really wanted to start reading more of her work. So, Crank is basically told, Christina is the perfect daughter, gifted high school student, quiet, never any trouble. Then she meets the monster, Crank, and what begins as a wild ride turns into a struggle for her mind, her soul, and her life. That is so interesting to me because you want to know what happened to her, like why Crank is so bad. Is Crank even real? Part of me thinks he's an illusion, but part of me thinks he's kind of real, which, without naming any names, there's kind of a Crank in my life, I guess you could say. So I figured it's super popular. That sounds so bad. I'm reading this book because it's super popular. But it's by Ellen Hopkins. I'll pretty much read anything by Ellen Hopkins because her style is just so dark and unique, and she really does get into like the nitty-gritty and the dark, sad, great description, Carly, unsettling feelings of having mental illness and addiction and stuff like that. If you haven't read Impulse yet, I really recommend you go do it. So yeah, there's Crank. I'm probably gonna get started reading this almost as soon as I turn the camera off. Now the next one is told to be a companion of Impulse. I don't know if you have to read Impulse first, but I'm one of those people who has to read the first one, and then whenever there's a companion to the one I just read, I'll read the companion second. Okay, yeah, so Connor and Impulse, Kara, his sister, is in this one. So, Kendra, I never saw Kendra in Impulse, but Kara was in Impulse. So yeah, it is kind of a companion. It's told in the same, I guess, world or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. But I'm so excited to start reading this one because this one has been recommended to me over and over and over and over again. And I think it also deals with an eating disorder too. So I'm excited to start reading that, and I love the cover of it. It's so beautiful with all the purple stuff. Just, I love it so much. I'm such an Ellen Hopkins fangirl. This page turner pulls no emotional punches. What does that mean? Either way, I'm excited to read this. I don't really know how else to describe these books. I'm just so excited to get it. I love Ellen Hopkins, man. Okay. Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. This one's old too, I think. I think these are all old. They did not come out in 2016 or maybe not even 15. But this one, Matthew Turner knows it doesn't get better. His younger brother Luke was bullied mercilessly after he was outed to their entire school. And when Luke called Matt on the brink of suicide, Matt was too wrapped up in his new girlfriend to answer the phone. Now Luke is gone and Matt's family is falling apart. Okay, I guess that wasn't really a spoiler because it literally says it in the back. No matter what his girlfriend Hayden says about forgiveness, there's no way Matt's letting those he blames off the hook, including himself. As Matt spirals further into bitterness, he risks losing Hayden, the love of his life. But when her father begins to pressure the school board into banning books because of their homosexual content, he begins to wonder if he and Hayden ever had anything in common. I love everything about this description because things I can't stand is homophobes. I could never be with someone that's a homophobe. And it just seems really interesting. And Hayden, I'm writing a story right now, and there's one of the characters is really closely related to Hayden because you read the back of it and maybe you think she's a bad guy, but in reality she's just complicated. For those of you who also don't know, I'm also an aspiring writer and I'm writing a lot, obviously. But I don't know which Ellen Hopkins book to read first. I'm so excited. But either way, I'm definitely gonna finish all of these. Maybe not definitely, I shouldn't say that. I'm not that I don't have that much faith in myself, but I'm excited either way. And the ones I do finish reading in 2017, which will hopefully be all of them, if not a lot, I will come back and there'll be an update for it, and I'll tell you which books were good, which books I didn't like, which books I would recommend, which books were complicated, blah 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 blah. If you want to see more book videos like this, let me know by giving this video a like if you really enjoyed it, because it really helps me out a lot. If you want to and you haven't already, you can click the button down below or the little circle right on where the clock was supposed to be on my background. You probably didn't even notice that was a clock, whatever. You can click on that button to subscribe to my channel and be notified every single time I make a new video. And if you haven't already and you want to, you can click on this button, the end card thing next to the chain on the end card, to subscribe to my new video. Yes, subscribe to my new video. To watch my new video if you haven't already and you would like to. And if you aren't already and you would like to, you can also follow my social media links, which will be listed around here somewhere. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, this hat was so hot. Okay, goodbye now.
You're the